What if I told you someone was healed, but their X-rays still showed they weren't healed? This is the story of Giuseppe Canaponi and a miracle that defied science. Stay tuned. Welcome to Following Padre Pio. Whether you're a returning viewer or new to our channel, we're thrilled to have you here. Padre Pio, a Capuchin friar and a miracle worker, continues to inspire and intercede today. Discover how his legacy can touch your life and your loved ones. Subscribe now and let's begin the spiritual journey together. Now on to today's story. Today I'd like to share with you an extraordinary account. It comes from Frank M. Riga's book, Amazing Miracles of Padre Pio and the Stories Behind Them. The main character is Giuseppe Canaponi, a railroad worker who faced a condition so severe that doctors deemed it hopeless. Yet, what happened next left both doctors and skeptics speechless. But let's start from the beginning. Giuseppe's ordeal began with a devastating accident in his hometown. A truck slammed into him, breaking the femur bone in his left leg. Instead of recovering, he developed fibrous ankylosis, a condition that left his left knee completely rigid due to the stiffening of the fibrous bands around the bones forming the joint. For 3 years, he endured unrelenting pain and could barely move around with crutches. The doctors tried everything: physical therapy, surgeries, and even forceful manipulation under anesthesia. But nothing worked. In fact, one attempt only made things worse, refracturing the femur. As you can imagine, this left Giuseppe feeling completely hopeless. In his own words, "I could not take it anymore. I blasphemed, cursed. My wife did not know what to do. I had some scary crises during which I became like a beast. Then I would calm down and repent until the next time. The leg caused me tremendous torture. Enduring great pain, I could take only a few steps using 2 crutches. My wife wanted me to go see Padre Pio, but I rebelled, raging against him. But not knowing what else to do, I relented. I went to see him, accompanied by my wife and my son. In my condition, it was not a pleasant journey." On December 28, 1948, Giuseppe found himself in the sacristy, kneeling before Padre Pio for confession. He immediately saw into Giuseppe's soul. "You blaspheme, you curse everyone, you are restless." "Yes, Padre, it is true," Giuseppe admitted. Padre Pio then added, "However, afterward you repent, go into your room and pray." Giuseppe was amazed. He thought to himself, "This is strange. He knows everything. He is telling me my confession." Finally, Giuseppe dared to ask, "Padre, pray that the Lord removes from me this brutal defect." "You must be a strong person," Padre Pio replied. "Otherwise, it would be useless for the Lord to give you the grace." As Padre Pio spoke, Giuseppe suddenly became aware of something. He shared, "Only at that moment did I realize that I was kneeling down. I have bent my knee that for 3 years had been immobile." Overwhelmed, Giuseppe stood up and carried his crutches in his arms instead of using them. He walked out of the sacristy, and when his wife saw him, she could hardly believe her eyes. "Yes, it's true," Giuseppe told her. "It seems to me that I even knelt in the sacristy." "Yes, Papa, I saw it. You were on your knees," his son confirmed. As if dreaming, the family returned to the hotel where Giuseppe tested his newfound mobility. He placed a pillow on the floor, knelt, and rose again. It was true, the impossible had happened. The next morning, Giuseppe returned to thank Padre Pio. But in his usual humility, Padre Pio told him, "It was not I who gave you the grace. Thank the Lord, only the Lord." However, our story doesn't end just yet. When Giuseppe returned home, he and his wife decided to attend a New Year's Eve celebration at a local venue. As he walked in, the room fell silent. Everyone knew his condition. They also knew he went to see Padre Pio, which is an important detail because most people from that area were communists and didn't believe in miracles. And yet, there he was, perfectly healed. Giuseppe and his wife took to the floor, and after a stunned moment, the crowd began to applaud. They danced for over 2 hours. Furthermore, the railroad was going on with the process of having Giuseppe discharged. In order to stop this, he requested a meeting with the railroad inspector. The inspector read and reread the medical documentation and exclaimed that according to these documents, Giuseppe would never be able to bend his knee. But, as Giuseppe demonstrated, he could use his leg perfectly. Giuseppe kept his job and was reinstated to his usual post at the station. When he returned to the doctors, they were baffled. X-rays revealed that the fibrous ankylosis was still present. In other words, Giuseppe shouldn't be able to walk, and yet he could walk, run, and even dance. His case was presented at a medical congress in Rome, where experts examined him. The director of the orthopedic clinic at the University of Siena issued a formal statement that read, "We have reason to believe that the sudden recovery of the articular movement in the case of Giuseppe constitutes an extraordinary event that cannot find, within the limits of current scientific knowledge, a logical explanation." Despite his healing, Giuseppe remained classified as a permanent invalid for medical and legal purposes. "Even today, for science and for the state, I am an invalid. I cannot walk," he said. "Now, every time I can, I return to San Giovanni Rotondo, because here is where I recovered my health and my peace of soul." And with that, we conclude today's story. Thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. Love our videos? Then click the bell to get notified as soon as we upload something new. Otherwise, you will miss out. Check out the specially recommended videos on the end screen or click the links in the description below for a full selection of great content, including our Padre Pio Thoughts for the Day playlist, and to enroll your Mass intentions for next Friday's Padre Pio Holy Mass. Thank you for being a part of our community, and stay tuned for the next video on the life of Padre Pio.